Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing great today. So here am I trying to fulfill my promise. I promised that I was going to launch a bunch of video series to help you understand what my Adventure Africa experience was like, and here it is. So I had gone on vacation to Dubai. I returned from Dubai and work happened, and then I immediately took off and left for Zambia to go do work in Lusaka. And then I did work in Lusaka like back to back to back to back, no breathing space at all. But when I was done with work, my clients wanted me to experience Africa because they had seen how obsessed I am with Africa and everything African. And they said the only way you can experience Africa is for you to take a tour to the other side of Zambia, which is called Livingstone. They said, that's where you're going to see all these things you fantasize about. And I said, wow, I'm going to do that. So when work was done in Lusaka, I had the option actually of sending my editor, my cameraman, back to Nigeria so I could go catch my fun. But I said, no, this guy has been with me for so long. And what better way to reward him than to take him on this trip with me? And I actually said he must go with me. So I took him with me on that trip, and he got virtually every single thing that I got. There was no special booking for me and a special one for him. I didn't get a different kind of room and he had a different, no, the same room I had at the 5-star hotel was the same kind of room he had. Whatever number of meals I had access to, he had access to them. I gave him class treatment just to reward him for being so faithful and being with me all these years. And that made me very happy. So when we showed up at the airport in Livingstone, I started filming my adventure from the airport, and I used my iPhone cameras. And that's what I used throughout the whole filming experience we had on this My Adventure Africa series. So if you see the video looking somehow, just know that everything was done with my iPhone, all right? Not too long, after we took off, we were introduced to a downtown Livingstone. It's more like usual, normal downtown in every city, but that's their own downtown. Wow, Livingstone, the former capital of Zambia. And it's now the tourist capital of the whole country. This is where all the giraffes and the lions and everything is. Where everybody comes here. Amazing. Love it. What's your name?
Clifford.
Clifford.
Yeah.
Awesome. We quickly drove past that downtown and got to a place where we saw a signboard and they wrote Elephant Corridor. And he said, so where we are now is the Elephant Corridor.
This is the area where the elephants
can come out.
Yeah.
Wow. Elephant Corridor means that elephant could come out any minute. It doesn't matter what time of the day. This is where they pass. Elephants are so intelligent. They know their routes. They always follow the same route. When they go, when they come back, they follow that route. So they say this is their corridor. They always pass through here. And just less than 90 seconds after he said that, we just spotted 3 massive, larger than life elephants. I just saw an elephant. Okay, there are 3 elephants. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're so massive. Yeah, I got this one. Yes. And you actually said that we can see elephants here. Look at that. Yes. Yeah. They were hidden in the bushes, but I got a little bit of the outline of the elephants. I saw them a little bit, but then he said, we need to leave here quickly because you can't stay for too long. Elephants can lose their mind, so quickly. They can lose their cool any minute, and then they start chasing you and they run very fast. So we quickly took off and left that place. But you know what happened? Not long after this time, a friend of mine was passing through the same elephant corridor. It was amazing. It was like a whole village of elephants, all of them, not just one family, because this was a lot. They were crossing the road, and my friend caught this on camera. The same spot where we found those 3 massive, larger-than-life elephants. So as we left that spot, we took off and we proceeded to our hotel, which was not too far away from that corridor. And I saw a lot of men on bicycle running on one lane or one side of the road. And I asked him, I said, who are these guys? And he said to me, oh, these are people, Zambians who go to Zimbabwe. These guys on bicycle coming from Zimbabwe. That's how close Zambia is to Zimbabwe. How many minutes did you say again?
10 minutes driving.
10 minutes drive. He said from the hotel where we're going to Avani, you could actually like walk to Zimbabwe. And I could not believe what this guy was saying. Immediately, I remembered my journey to Malawi when I crossed over to the other side of the road and I was in Mozambique. Now, look what is happening here. I am about to cross the road. If you doubt me, I will show you their flag. I will cross the road right now and I'm going to get into Mozambique. So I traveled here to come and see Malawi, but I'm about to go into Mozambique without any visa. Don't tell anybody. Watch. Okay, so you see, I literally just walked across on the other side of the road and I'm in a different country. And then, of course, what I used to talk about when you are in a Flao, Ghana border with Togo, you just cross over from here to here and you are in Togo, but they're actually the same people. So all of this flooded my mind and immediately I told him, you know what? I am going to visit Zimbabwe on this trip. I didn't come to Zimbabwe, I came to Zambia. That's the only visa that I had, but I'm gonna go to Zimbabwe. After all, I took a visa to go to Malawi and I visited Mozambique just by crossing to the other side of the road. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the trip. And he said, well, good luck. When the time comes, we'll see how it goes. And so we took off, we got to the gate of our hotel. It was a beautiful, beautiful entrance. So we drove in. As we drove in, instantly you can easily tell that this is a reserve. You know, I had this amazing euphoria that overwhelmed me. Everything felt so natural, so real. I felt so connected to the place. There was so much serenity. As we drove in through that gate, we just saw impalas right ahead, just feeding like it was nobody's business. Just the way you would have goats all over our African villages. They were all over the place. The same impalas that when we kill them in West Africa, we want to go have a party. Oh, we just killed impala. Everybody will gather. They will kill them and share. They were all over the place playing. Immediately after, we were at the entrance to this beautiful, magnificent, vintage hotel called Avani. I mean, I felt, I don't know what the architecture did to me, but the architecture of the place took me back to my roots. I don't know how those people did it, but everything they did about Avani just makes you feel so at home. And the reception was very warm. Everything was just class. And so they quickly told us, so you don't have to wait here. Let's just go show you your room. We're gonna bring your luggage. Don't bother about all that. And they quickly got our cards and they were taking us to the room. As soon as we left the reception area, the first thing I told the guys, you know what? I want to see the giraffes though. So I want to see the giraffes though.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had never at this point seen giraffes in real life. I had never seen zebras and I had never seen rhinos in real life. But I knew that there was no way rhinos were going to be in that hotel environment because this Avani hotel is more like a massive game reserve, you know? They have animals. I was told that when you're there, you might have zebras coming to you while you're eating, having lunch or dinner. You might have giraffes show up, and I was so eager. So the moment we left the reception area, I was just like looking all over the place, darting up and down. I told the guy, I said, you know what? I want to see the giraffes though. And the guy said, don't worry, you're going to see all of them. Few meters away from where I said that, right ahead of me, were these beautiful zebras by the entrance to my room. Hey guys, so I'm just walking to my room and guess who's welcoming me to my room? Guess who? Look. This is so beautiful. Wow. Nature wins, man. I feel good. I love nature. I love Africa more. And that became the first time in my life that I had seen zebras. And seeing zebras for the first time, I didn't just see one, I didn't just see two, I saw three. And they were by the entrance as if they were just there to welcome me to Livingstone, Zambia. It was an amazing experience. I can't tell you how that made me feel. And this is a simple animal that these guys are used to. But just seeing it for the first time, I had shows all over. And then given that the ambience of this place makes you just want to stay there and not go again, it just topped it for me. So we left there and everybody was like, okay, you guys need to come and have some dinner and stuff like that, because we came there in the evening. It was almost getting dark. And I told them, I said, no, I'm not wasting any time. I need to get away. I need to hit the ground running. I want to see everything that needs to be seen on this trip, because I have been told that Livingstone is Zambia's tourist capital. So I am going to see everything. I only have 3 days in this place and I must see all I need to see. I told my editor, get ready, we need to move. So we just had a light meal and then jumped on the car. And they took us on the car. And I told the guy, I said, you know what you're going to do now? I need to see giraffes. He said, are you sure? I said, yes, I want to see the giraffes. It's okay, let's go and try. Maybe we can find them. As soon as we left the hotel area, he said, I think I just saw giraffes. It looks like it's gone further into the bush. I said, how can we go get it? He said, just come, let's go. So he quickly rerouted and we took another route and started running to go find another way to get into that bush where he saw the giraffe. I think he just spotted a giraffe. And we're trying to get over there to see the giraffe. And that will be the first time in my life that I'm seeing a giraffe live. And we drove for a while and stopped and then went into the forest. And he said, this is where we can find a giraffe. Come on, giraffe, where are you? As we were going, not even up to 2 minutes walk, I just saw this majestic, humongous, beautiful, huge, massive creature feeding from the top of the tree. It took my breath away. Okay, so we have finally found the giraffe. We're looking for it. So let me spin around so you can see the giraffe. There you go. So this is officially the first time in my life that I'm seeing a giraffe real life. Right here, that stuff is incredibly tall, almost as tall as a tree. Can you see this? Let me pan up. This is crazy. Wow. I am really proud to be African. That's why I wrote a song the other time and I called it Proud to be African. And everywhere I go, I make sure that I spread the message of Africans looking inwards and turning to what we have, of Africans rejecting the mind control, brain damage programming that takes place in the mainstream media, where they tell you that Africa is a continent that is bedeviled with so much poverty. We are not poor. We just have mismanagement of the resources that God has blessed us with. There is no resource on earth that you can find on the continent of Africa. And now, coupled with the icing on the cake, which is these beautiful animals. So I'm going to walk behind the giraffe now. It stops, so I'm gonna stop. Sometimes we don't know when these things get angry and it runs very fast, so I have to be careful as well. But I really feel like I want to go grab it. I can't do that, unfortunately. This is Africa. This is Africa, and it's like this in so many other countries in the southern hemisphere. You go to the eastern part of Africa, you see them. You go to southern, you see them. But when we come to Western Africa, we find them to kill and eat. We eat them. Why? The beauty of Africa is breathtaking. Guys, let's stop buying into the brainwash. They tell you, oh, Africa is so poor. The hotel where we are staying now, Evani, go and see the number of white people over there. I love white people, I love black people, I love everybody, but go see the number of white people. Some of them are actually living there. Like they're not moving an inch. 90% of the people in that place lodging now are white people. But you're leaving Africa and running to the west for greener pasture when there is no green over there. This is green. Look at Africa. See giraffe. Zebras welcome me to my hotel room. The gazelle, the deers, everything. Lions in Africa. Tell me, what is the true definition of paradise? What is the true definition of the Garden of Eden? Isn't this what God created in the Garden of Eden? Doesn't it remind you of what the Bible tells us about the Garden of Eden? The animals and humans were living together, cohabiting. Forget about all those babies with flies on their leaves and stuff like that. There is so much more to Africa than all the crap they're showing you on mainstream media. This is one of them right there. And so as I was preaching, I just kept saying to myself, I wish that Africans abroad would get to know how many white people are on our continent enjoying this untainted beauty, this gorgeousness, this beauty that Africa is. And yet we run away. Someone came to you and lied to you and told you that the greener pastures are in the West, and that your land is dry and bare and barren, and that people there are poor and wretched, and they show you babies with flies on their faces, and all you do is you want to run away and go to the West. Some of you do 3 to 4 jobs to survive in the West. But there are little things you can find in Africa to do, and you will just explode in so much wealth. But we run away. Even if what you gain from Africa is this beauty, this organic living, is it not worth it? I was so taken by the beauty of this giraffe and the African continent. I was talking and talking nonstop. And when I was done, the guy was like, "Are you happy now?" I said, "I am happy." He said, "So can we go back to the hotel?" I said, "No. I mean, we still have some light. It's not dark yet. I'm not going back to the hotel." And I said, "I want to go see some more animals." He said, "Okay, I have a plan." I said, "Take me to your plan." And that plan he's taking me to the next phase is now what is going to take you to the chapter 2 of my day 1. So chapter 1 of my day 1 ended with the giraffe, and the chapter 2 began in earnest. Now, how did the chapter 2 begin?